except tonight, I feel like I kind of want to talk about hair more. Like, last few times I talked about things that were on my mind, and it's not that I still don't have things on my mind about the world, but I'm just trying to be more positive. And one thing I feel like is really helping is like, I know everybody's like, you should have holiday cheer, but I feel like you should have everyday cheer and everyday happiness. Because, yes, there are bad things that happen in this world, in society, everything. But the only thing you can really control is how you feel about things. And I do believe in that. I do believe in the power of positivity. I mean, I might not exactly take it to the level that Wayne Dyer did. I mean, I'm not new agey because I'm not new age at all. I approach it from a slightly Abrahamic, monotheistic religion way, um, somewhere between Christianity and Islam. Um, that's how I approach it. Like somewhere between Christianity and Islam. Like nominally Christian, but have a lot of respect for different thought processes, and specifically in Sufi Islam. Like, I just really very respect of that, a lot of things. And yeah, so I just believe you should try to find solace and positivity and a good way forward in life. Like, I don't see the point of being mired in anything that's too negative. And I think this kind of harkens back to Khalil Gibran, a Lebanese person of my heart. Khalil Gibran, he kind of stuck it to the theocracy, but I think Khalil Gibran is kind of an amazing man, by the way. His father was a Muslim. He converted to Christianity, so he's a little bit of both. He's Lebanon itself. Because back in the days, all the monotheistic religions, like, they might have had their squabbles, but people got along more, you know? In these modern times, there's a lot of conflict. But I don't want to talk about the conflict today because it is what it is. And the Roman Empire of my life is, I don't want to dwell upon ideologies of other people. I just don't want to dwell upon ideologies that separate people, cause conflict. I don't like it. Never liked it. Well, especially now, like, something just had shifted in my mindset. But I'm beginning to see, like, a really positive change in this, that just a lot of growth with boundaries, and something weird happened. I feel like my hair has grown more than ever, which is kind of strange, but there's something about it when I just gave myself more permission to just listen to my own voice on issues. And I don't even, like, I might talk here a little bit about things that are on my mind, but I've just been very solitary in my thoughts about things, like kind of like Khalil Gibran, trying to find solace in nature and in within yourself, and kind of like the Sufis trying to find, like, reason in everything. Like, there's just good stuff to be had. I feel like there's spirituality to be taken in life. And yes, maybe I'm not telling other people what to do, but I'm like on this spiritual journey, and it's pretty good. It's really good. And I'm finding, like, with hair, it's everything's kind of like coalescing. Like, I am very happy with my hair growth right now. I don't know. That all that stuff is just my thinking, my thought process. I really do believe there's something important about having a higher power in your life, though. I really believe that. Because today I was reading a book. I started reading a book about the aftermath of the Cultural Revolution, and just how when a society stops having, like, a belief in God, like, what happens, or any God, or like a higher power, like, what is your moral purpose? Or just like, because I just feel There's just something to be said about moral purpose through a higher power, not through man. No human being can derive or quantify that for you. These are my thoughts. It's very Abrahamic religion stuff. Like, yeah, I'm kind of going that way. I don't know, like somewhere between Christianity and Sufi Islam. That's where I'm headed. Like, I'm finding a lot of meaning and purpose in my life through that, through peace, because there's just something beautiful about seeking peace and building others up every day, all the way. Like, you have to really build others up. And sometimes you might not like things that happen in the world, but if you're the stronger cookie, yeah. I didn't know you were Sufi. That's interesting. Like, I just love the Sufis, and I'll tell you why. Because my grandpa, my ancestors were Christian in Syria and Lebanon, but my grandpa loved the Sufis, and he was a big student of like Sufi history, and I just always, like, he had a big admiration for Sufis. He had a lot of books on the Sufis, and I don't know what happened to them. I think my aunts and uncles got rid of a lot of things, which really bothered me, but I just have a lot of respect for the Sufis, so that's very cool. And I can tell that you are Sufi just from your thinking, so I respect it a lot. So there's a lot of weird things going on right now in the world, but I'm trying to think about hair, like with hair growth. Like, I want my hair to continue to grow. I don't want to like cut my hair drastically, and sometimes people write weird comments on my YouTubes or on my Instagram saying things like, I'll pay you to cut your hair, you want to cut your hair? And I used to kind of go up to bat against those weirdos, but I'm like, why? You guys are weird. Like, you believe, like, here's the thing about the hair cutting fetish accounts, in my opinion, they just promote violence against women. Because if you don't know, the hair cutting fetish is derived from, this did happen in Europe and the US. I don't know if it happened in other places, but there used to be attacks on women where they would cut women's hair off in the street. So it's definitely, that is so cool. Yeah, you are very diverse. Like, you need to do a podcast, Khaled. That is so cool. So the violence against women thing, like the hair cutting fetish dudes, I know like in some other countries people are desperate and the men will force the young women to cut their hair, like in India, and sometimes, well, maybe not in India much. I think just because of their religion, a lot of them are encouraged to donate their hair to the temple. But I know like in some other Southeast Asian countries, male relatives kind of coerce young women to cut their hair to get money, which is just very coercive. And I've talked about why. This is why I can't stand hair extensions, because it's basically abuse of women. But the hair cutting fetish guys are another level, because there's been a lot of documented cases in the history of Europe and the US where there were men that cut off women's hair in the street. So anytime I see one of those accounts, like there's a lot of those nasty accounts, and I'm kind of confused why some of the people who follow me that seem to like long hair are following those accounts. I don't really understand, like, why are they, like, there is this one guy, he says it's just mocker, like it's set up, it's just flair, like where he stages videos of a woman like being strapped down to have her hair cut. And then I get weird comments, and then there was some guy that was telling me in Spanish, and I know how to translate a comment, that I should cut my hair. And I'm like, get lost. Like, I used to go up to bat against them and be like, no, you guys are bad. But I thought, you know what, why am I doing that? Yeah, that's a good point. But it's just evil, like, to cut a woman's hair when she's walking down the street. That's why the whole hair cutting fetish thing, it bothers me, because those men do promote that. And there's a lot of websites like where there's some pretty gross stuff. Like this man, he paid these women to do head shaves. And I'm like, I don't know why somebody like agrees or wants to be paid to participate in that, but it's basically perpetuating violence against women. And anybody who is pro women or pro people doesn't support hair cutting fetish accounts. And I really wish more people would unfollow those accounts, but I can't control the world. So sometimes I get these weird comments from those dudes, but I've been trying to just engage less with them, or just be like, you know what, you look silly. You look really silly, and we all know what you are. Like, you don't like long hair. So I just want to, I guess, focus more on people that want to grow their hair for like spiritual well-being reasons. And I feel like there's something to it, because I think about like my dad. Well, his hair's not as long as it used to be, but he had very long curly hair at one time, and he always loved like Samson in the Old Testament. Like, that really resonated with him, you know, and the power he derived from his hair. And I don't know, he always told me like he thought I should grow my hair long. Like, he was really into long hair, and he always loved long hair. Like, my dad, he's just kind of cool that way. Like, he thinks long hair is cool. And you know, his hair's more shoulder length now. He's older. He's 73. So, like, but I feel like something that's kept me more youthful, like, than a lot of people my age, because I stay pretty youthful, is walking, like, my wanting to be, like, seeking more spiritual peace, because I feel like I just got mucked up for a while with people that I don't know what other people are doing in life. And there's a lot of people, really. Like, it doesn't matter what they want out of life, really, because it just seems like a lot of people want to be a god or something. And I don't want to follow people that want to be a god, because there's a God and you're not a god, you know. And I don't know, maybe some people are offended that I'm talking about like believing in God, but I do. And if you don't, that's on you. But I just believe that there's spirituality in long hair, and it's making me feel like a connection with myself and just being natural. And I love like natural femininity, and I love being a feminine woman. Like, that really resonates with me. I like to wear dresses, and I like floral things, and I like pretty colors, and I enjoy being very feminine, and that's just something that resonates with me. But I can't tell anybody else how they should feel about life. This is just my truth, you know. I don't know. So there's a spiritual component to my wanting to grow my hair long, I guess. Like, I just feel it more in my heart than ever, you know. Yeah, I love long hair, and it is definitely a representation of self-care, because like right now, like, not only you have the little minority of the hair fetish cutting guys, but just like, I just feel like something that's emotionally draining is the people who are like, well, hair is just to dye all these different colors and to bleach, which is so damaging to your hair, and that's damaging to you. And I can't get behind like all these chemical processes. Like, there's enough chemicals in the world. Why are we gonna subject ourselves to more treatments? Like, that's all I think. Yeah, I think it would be really cool to meet you. Maybe we'll go to Disneyland or something. That would be fun, right? So I just want more positivity in life, and I'm feeling a spiritual connection to long hair. And I wanted to talk about how I do think doing henna on your hair is good, but mix it with oil. I do think you should do that, not just straight water, because that seemed pretty good. Not overdo it though. I think henna, like that one time I had the disaster with henna, was because I mixed it with conditioner, which is a no-no. But there's still people saying you should mix henna with conditioner, and that just kind of bothers me a little bit. But I do think a henna mask maybe every few months is good for your hair, because I don't oil my scalp. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about with oiling your scalp thing. Like, I don't think people should be necessarily always directly putting oil on their scalp. You could if you get oil in your hair, but I feel like that could kind of maybe create some clogging in people's scalps. And because, you know, those little droppers where people, well, cocoa butter is good for you, but do you know what I'm talking about, where they have those oil things where they're like making lines and they're putting oil on their scalp. I'm just a little skeptical of that because I feel like you could oil your hair and the oil gets into all of your hair, including your scalp. And I'm just not sure I like the idea of putting a lot of oil directly on my scalp. And then another thing that I find confusing about the whole hair oiling thing that I don't agree with at all is like a lot of people like, you oil your hair for 2 hours and then you're supposed to wash it off. But then they don't use oil to, yeah, I like that. Like, that's cool. But like, then they have to wash it off and then they don't use oil to detangle. But I realize my hair is totally different than other people because I have wavy hair and I need oil and leave-in conditioner to detangle my hair because when I was a child, my mom was very confused about why I was so tender. Oh my golly, let's get across the street fast. Okay, so was confused about why I was tender-headed. There is a restaurant called Bravo Burger. I don't understand why they're called Bravo Burger. I don't know. Maybe they have Hero Burgers there. Let's see. Hi, good morning. So, I feel like I should get the nightcap thing too. I have been thinking about doing that. That's something else I've been thinking about doing. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on like being more natural and doing natural processes and doing what works for you. But I just know for me that I like henna occasionally. I do put oil in my hair to detangle it. I don't necessarily put oil on my scalp just to wash it out. And I feel like every 2 weeks washing is good for me. Like that's maybe 3 sometimes, but 2. I think this week I'm gonna go 2 because I did henna last week. But I also rinse out my roots with water. Like I do a lot of rinsing. Yeah, exactly. You're right. They don't feel your pain. But I don't know. People used to be like, when I was a kid, they're like, don't squirm. Like, I don't know. It's just, things were different back then. I feel like now people are more aware of these things. But when I was a kid, they're just like, just sit there. Like my mom was an incredible braider, but she has stick straight hair. So she never, I don't think she understood like, oh, my hair is like hard to detangle. And she was very good at braiding my hair, but I never liked her brushing my hair because I was like, oh my gosh. Like she would pull really hard and I don't like that. And a lot of people do that and it's just not my thing. Like I go really slow and some people are like, well, why? But to this day, I know that increased the density of my hair by going slower because you don't want to brush your hair real quickly. You will tear out a lot of your hair for sure. If you're yanking on your hair, you're going to tear out more hair, like pull out more hair. So you should go slower. But I think like there's been a lot of evolution on how people view hair, like hair care. I think it's more like considered self-care now, whereas I don't know, like when I was in the 80s and 90s, people did it, but it was just kind of like, ow, like you need to get ready, like let's do it fast. Like I don't want to rush. Like I feel like I kind of rushed like today because I only spent 20 minutes on brushing out and braiding my hair. And I feel like I know it wouldn't take me an hour, but sometimes I want an hour to just feel like I have time to brush out my hair section by section. And the reason being is I haven't done a hair live stream in a while because I've been getting up early. But I just let the shower hit my roots because I don't wash my hair like as much as other people. But I've been like, what I do is I keep my hair in a braid from morning to night and I get up again in the morning and then I use a claw clip to put my hair up because I have this weird like just thing that I created for myself. Like I feel like if it's kind of in a bun but I let the water hit my roots and some of like the mids to ends, like it gets wet and it kind of preserves, it kind of helps me extend out washing my hair. But I'm just finding when I rinse my roots like that, yeah, braids are very good. Like braids are very good, especially like since you have curly hair. That is an amazing way to grow your hair long. Like I, even with wavy hair though, like I don't want to wear my hair loose because when I used to wear my hair loose a lot, like years ago, I was like, why is my hair tingly all the time? And then you'd have to brush your hair like 2 times a day. And I don't even think, I know some people are like, brush your hair 2 times a day. And I don't want to do that. Like, I do not, I think that's more manipulation than you need. I want to brush my hair 1 time a day. And here's another thing that I did that, oh my gosh, sometimes you need a break for your hair. So I didn't do a hair video for like a couple of days because I just got busy doing things this last weekend and I didn't go anywhere. But I went 2 days and I kept my hair in a braid for 2 days. And I just, because I didn't have to go anywhere, I had the weekend off and I didn't go anywhere. So it was kind of like a good break for my hair. Like, I'm not going to do that every single 2 days I have off, but it was a wonderful break. Just keeping my hair in a braid for 2 days with no manipulation. And I was like, oh my gosh, is my hair going to be really tangly after being in a braid for 2 days? But it wasn't. I did my root rinse in the shower with my hair pinned up with the clip. And then when I go to comb out my hair, which is semi-damp, not completely wet, but semi-damp, I put more water in my hair. I put oil in my ends, and then that just seems to be what's working for me right now. It helps to keep my roots clean. And I definitely believe in a clarifying wash, like 2 times. And I'm liking that Selsun Blue Naturals because it has like salicylic acid. And I just think it's really good as like a clarifying shampoo. If you've never had like any scalp issues, maybe you don't need something like that, but I kind of recommend it actually because just from everything I've been reading, it's just a very good clarifying shampoo. I might go back to using another clarifying shampoo, but when I did, I just felt like ever since I had that weird incident when my scalp got very kind of, what happened was I was washing my hair with conditioner for like a year and a half, and then after that my scalp just never completely recovered from that. And I don't recommend just washing your hair with conditioner because even people with really coily hair, they say like you should do a clarifying wash at least once a month. Like, I think you should, but that's just my opinion. I know some people, they just want to wash with conditioner, but when I did that, I think the cumulative effect was even after I did it, I wasn't using enough clarifying shampoo on my scalp. That's where I got the scalp irritation, and then I panicked and I had cut my hair, but I didn't really need to do that. Like, I could have avoided that. Like, I had a couple of mishaps, but that won't happen again, you know. That's my goal anyhow. So anyway, I did a lot of walking. Oh golly, careful, I don't want to fall. A lot of walking, and so I'm almost home. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.